Welcome to the podcast where we speak truth, illuminate power, and fully embody who the fuck we are. This is the Light Warriors Unleashed podcast. We are all about spiritual evolution, spiritual growth, talking about the things that may be controversial, even some triggering concepts, but we are all about expansion. Come on in and join us as we reclaim and recenter ourselves in the power of who we really are. We are the Light Warriors, and welcome to the revolution. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 123 of the Light Warriors Unleashed podcast. And I have some cool people in my world. That's just what I want to say. And, when I put out the message to attract more guests into the space, to create this adventure with you and to be here to hold space, I had no idea what would drop in. And this woman is amazing. Her name is Ashu, and she channels feline energy. And when she wrote her notes in the form and submitted the form, I was like, what does this even mean? What is this? She works a lot with felines. And obviously, I opened up the podcast with me talking about a past life where I was a tiger. And it just literally opened up this ball of energy in the space. We dive into the 5 pillars of feline energy, what it means to be and run and be in alignment with feline energy and what that can mean for people. And it was just such a cool experience. That's all I want to say to you. But she is so eloquent. She nails it in. You can feel the power of how she distributes herself in the world. And I just felt really grateful coming out of this episode, coming out of this, session with her, to have been in her field. And then after, this is really kind of fun. This is coming through a lot. So after we click off of record, after doing the podcast episode, they have messages for me. And it was really fun to hear. She was like, I see you as a tigeress, and that you create such safety for your clients to be able to step into, like a fierce mama, that you're holding this capacity for them to be able to move through the world in their own laneways. And I was like, this fucking is amazing. And I love this energy. And I love the fact that this is coming through and that I get to share this energy with you today. So get ready. We're talking about cats. We're talking about tigers and lionesses, and we're talking about connection to the feline world and what that means for us in humanity. She channels a couple messages for us to lean into in the space of it all, and just really, really grateful for all the things. So no further ado, episode 123 with Ashu, Light Warriors Unleashed podcast. Well, this is going to be a fun conversation. So for some of you guys that have been listening to the podcast for a while, you might have heard one of the episodes where I talked about being a tiger in a past life. And it was my first ever past life experience, when literally the first life I ever what I call woken up into. And I remember it so potently, being in the body of a tiger, feeling the heartbeat, seeing the paws. And my guest today, when she filled out her form, she was talking about feline energy. And I was like, oh my God, I need to jump into this conversation with her just to find out, what does this actually mean? How is it showing up in the collective world? And we're going to dive into all of that today. So Ashu and I are going to have this potently expanded conversation about feline energy. And I don't know where we're going to go, and I don't know what's about to transpire. But here's what I know is it's going to be fun and cool. So Ashu, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. And also, oh my God, you were a tiger in your past life. What in the world? This is so cool. And I already have so many things to talk about related to the feline energy, specifically relating to you, so that you can uncover more and more about how to act. Oh my God, you have a little tiger there. Wow, that's so
I've
cute.
had it for 10 years, I think. It comes with me everywhere. So it's been to countries and this is my animal totem. He transitions with me, we'll say. But yeah, it's so fun.
I
Well, yeah,
love that. So
let's start talking
fierce.
about that. Dive right in. So you just wrote one line about feline energy, and I was like, I don't know what this is about. And I can imagine what I think about what this might be, but what is feline energy? What does it mean right now? And what go for it. Hit the record button. Let's move.
That's exactly why I write one line about it, because the other person automatically, if they are very aligned with it, they just feel like, oh my God, I need to talk to this person. That's why I just write, okay, this is feline energy. If you're into it, let's talk about it. Because
Yeah.
this was a gift that I received. I'm gonna go into that. But before I do this with every single single person who asks me what is feline energy, because I got fed up because I didn't know how to explain it when my guides dropped it. I was making all these sentences. There was no 2 minute elevator pitch to explain it. So I was like, you need to tell me how to explain it to other people. And that's what they guided me to do. So I'm going to do that with you. I don't even think I need to ask you the first question. The first question is basically think of a feline, bring a feline to your mind. So I think we're already established on that. Now I want you to tell me what are some qualities that you associate with that feline that you have chosen, which is the tiger in this case.
Yeah, so well, obviously I chose a life as a tiger, and in that lifetime, I was being separated from my mate and like my family, and literally an earthquake had moved through where we lived, and I was running through the jungle to try and get to them, and I missed the jump, and I couldn't get to them. So a couple of the really big resonant things that came through in connection with this animal is the resilience and tenacity to be able to continue to move forward and move through life, and also to almost that you can still do it on your own kind of energetics as well. So those were the two like really big messages that came through in that lifetime. But I know that you're probably going to reference this into why I'm attracted to this animal and not why I was in that animal in a past life, because I,
Oh no, no,
yeah,
but is that a cat in the
yeah,
corner?
yeah.
Oh,
She's here.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love cats so much. And okay, let's take the resilience that you talked about, right? Now, how would you put this resilience into the context of whatever you're doing, your business, your podcast? Do you see yourself embodying those traits in some way in terms of resilience in your business?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
That is feline energy, that
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
So you take the traits of whatever it is that you associate with,
Hmm.
whatever a feline avatar that you associate with,
Yeah.
and then we work together in my containers to help you activate more and more of that energy. So I have a lot of my clients who associate with the lioness because they're Leos, right? So we
Mhm.
will work on, okay, what does a lioness actually mean to you? What does it stand for? And I had this client who always so like, I'm a lioness, but I didn't see it come out. And we had to
Mm.
work through so many layers of her being shut down as a kid, not being given that much attention, being told to be in the quiet corner sort of.
Yeah.
And we had to get that going so that she could actually be that lioness that she said she
Yeah.
resonated with. So that is the feline energy, but how it actually came through was on 12th December last year. So 12th December 2023, 12/12 portal is where I was given this gift that, okay, this is feline energy. And you are supposed to go and talk about it. And at that point, I did not know anything.
Yeah.
I was excited. I was too excited, I would say, when the moment I heard it. I was just like, wow, okay, feline energy. And I didn't sit to get the rest of the guidance. I did an event, 3-day event. It's like a free event. I still have it on my link in bio and everything. And it's called Feline Energy Activation.
Mm,
That
cool.
event, I just did it for fun because I like cats. So I like literally branded everything in cat theme,
Yeah.
and that event got me booked out for the entire 2024 last year. And I was totally booked out for my private coaching the entire year. And I got super lazy. And now, universe was like, okay, this is not going to work out. We just gave her one bit and she got super excited and she got booked out. So I saw the benefits of embodying that feline energy even without knowing it so well.
Yeah.
But then they are slowing down the flow, and I was supposed to go and download the entire concept that I left last year. So now I've finally sat down with it. I've realized, okay, there are 5 pillars to feline energy. Okay, this
Mhm.
is the avatars that I have to help people with, and all of that.
Yeah.
And then I started putting myself out in my speaker era, going on podcasts to help people understand what feline energy is. So that's the entire gist of
Cool.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you've ever answered this question before, but I feel like you probably have. What I get the dynamics of like bringing in just specific animal totems, but what it would be the difference to the collection of animals to just doing feline energy?
Yes, absolutely. I have not gotten this question before, so I
Oh,
love it.
yeah.
Yes. Because I was also having this like channeling session yesterday, and my guides were like, "You are supposed to work with other animals as well." And I had like these spiders come through, insects, and all of that. I was like, "Yeah, cool." But there is a specific connection with feline specifically that you're supposed to work with. You are like, it is a personal, I would say, soul mission of mine
Hmm.
that I have, I don't know, some debt towards the feline that I have to fulfill, because that's why I foster cats as well now, so that I can give back. And like, I those felines are supposed to help me. If I am helping you activate your tiger avatar, it's not just you, it's also helping me, because I'm supposed to receive a gift from every single feline that I come into
Mm.
interaction with. So I went to the zoo. I was told, guided specifically, go to a zoo, and that specific zoo there's going to be a lioness, and there was a lioness looking right at me,
Yeah.
and just for a very long time it was almost scary. And then I was told to open the Akashic records of the lioness and receive a gift from that. So that, I think, is a little personal sort of an experience that I have
Yeah.
to personally work with the feline energy. And then there are people, when I first put out feline energy, there were a couple people in my audience at the same time were told, work with feline energy.
Yeah.
So when I put it out there, they were automatically like, what the hell? My guys just told me that I am supposed to work with feline energy. I don't know what it is. And that's how it worked. So there are certain people and certain souls, but I definitely believe feline energy is for everyone, unless you're scared of cats.
Yeah.
So it's for everyone. And I feel that this is the moment where I can help a lot. The
Yeah.
fierceness of the entire feline kingdom is what I want to tap into, because they are the cutest little beings, but they are fierce yet vulnerable. And that is the balance that differentiates them from every other animal out there. Because a
Mm.
cat will be very cute, cuddly right now, but when you know that you are exceeding the boundary, the cat is going to be like, nope, that's not going to happen. And that is exactly what I want to help business owners embody, that yes,
Yeah.
you can be loving with your clients, but you also get to set boundaries with them.
Right. Yeah, I love this. Maybe you were like a poacher in a past life, and this is like part of the karmic debt that you're paying back into the world, right? So like you hunted them or something.
Yet to be revealed, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I believe in animal communication. I believe in animal totems. I believe animals come into our life for different reasons. I have had so many incidents with animals and birds and insects and all things, and then you look up the messages and it's exactly what you're going through and they're giving you messages. So like you're preaching to the choir over here. Like I pay attention to the energetics. I get and understand the dynamics of what they that means in the world. But yeah, I would love it. So someone's like, oh my God, this is so fun and so cool and all the things. They could obviously go to your link tree and get that free training from you, right? In the space of everything. So they can access that. But it's like, are you available to be able to speak even more in depth to like some of the work that you've been doing with some of the energies of the felines? Is that a cool thing for you to communicate on? Like, I don't want to take away all your secrets, but you know.
Ah, no, that's not, that's all right. Because I don't have the secrets as such. I openly talk about it. And the best way for me to go about it is through client stories, because that's how people understand it
Yeah,
even better. But I love that you're into animal communication and all of that, because that's also something. Because I was told that one of my gifts is animal communication. Along, like, I've been in spirituality for like since 2020. I would say that was my true
a lot of
awakening, sort of.
people. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people.
And I was told I have a gift of animal communication, and I would sit in front of birds trying to talk to them, and they would keep flying away. So I realized that, okay, I was not supposed to communicate like that. I was a very young newbie into the spirituality world. I didn't know how to communicate, and I had all of these. Um, I had this person, my coach at the time, was like, "Can you do a channeled message for me?" Because she was like a very strategy oriented coach, and she really loved what I did. So I was like, cool, I'll do some channeling. I was just opening up to it. And a guide came through, a horse guide came through, and the horse guide came with a man. And I was like, okay, this man will tell me the messages I have, and I'm just writing. And the man was just there sitting, chilling, drinking beer. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then the horse was like, I am going to give the messages actually. And
Yeah.
Okay, okay, and that animal communication thing really just brought back that memory that I really had to share. Now let's get into the feline part of it. So I talked about the five pillars. So the
Yeah.
five pillars are like avatars, but also they have their headings of their own. So the first pillar is healing and rebirth, because cats have 9 lives and all of that fun stuff. But it's also your healing and rebirth energy that you receive from the feline, because the cats come to you or the felines come to you and they have that ability, the potent ability to transmute negative energies and take them with them. So an example of that would be, especially when clients start working with me, even right now, if you're listening to this episode, you are bound to see cats. It just happens. I don't know. I send them out. I somehow control the cat distribution system. So this client of mine was living in this hilly area. She was volunteering at a school, and she said to me that a cat came in to her house.
Mm.
And I'm like, did you feed? She's like, yeah, I fed the cat. It was like a little kitten, sort of. And the cat came again, the cat came again. A couple of days later, another one of the volunteers that she was volunteering with went missing. And there was like a lot of things that happened, and the volunteer like passed away. So there was like a difficult time that happened, and the kitten sort of somehow knew it
Of
and
course.
had to be there to help her process. And has happened so many times. Like
Oh
for me,
yeah.
my mother went through breast cancer around 2020, and then when she was recovering through chemotherapy and everything, we had shifted to a new place.
Mm.
In that new place, I had this cat peeking over, and now that cat came every single day. It happened on 5th October. I clearly remember 5th October 2021. This cat is peeking over. My mom is like, don't feed her and everything. I still went ahead and fed her,
Mm.
and that cat came every single day. And now that I've moved to Australia, my the cat still visits every single day with and is more close to my mom. And I realized, oh, she was here for my mom, not for me. I
Yeah.
have not the main character here,
Yeah.
but she was there for my mother to help her with that healing journey. So
Right.
that is like the healing and rebirth pillar. So I guess I hope that gives some examples of how this feline energy works,
Oh,
because
for sure.
that is another, like, I have an entire podcast episode about it with one of my clients, that she had a fear of business. She
Mm-hmm.
thought business and family cannot exist together, because that is going to, like, I will have to sacrifice one or the other sort of situation. And we had to dig deep into it, and she realized that we called in her ancestors and everything. And she had a maternal grandfather who had a great business. But
Mm.
when they had kids, so her parents came into the picture, they went from riches to rags sort of a situation, not the
Yeah.
other way. They had all this money and they started going down. And then her parents programmed her to be like, job is safe, you have to do this, we went through so much struggle and all of that. And when we did this healing, she realized her grandfather spoke and said that this was supposed to be their karma, they were supposed to go through this has nothing to do with you, can you just go on with your life and do your business.
Yeah.
And that was a very healing moment for her to be able to fully show up in her business. So that's the
Mm.
healing and rebirth pillar
Yeah,
of
I love
feline
this.
energy.
Before we move on to the rest, because I know that it's going to be juicified, I'll tell you a funny story. So I live in Costa Rica, and obviously stray animals are a really big thing here. And just one day, I opened up my door at the house I was living at, and there was a cat that was there. So he started coming around. And then a mom cat started coming around. She was pregnant. She had her babies. And then about 3 weeks after she had the babies, all of a sudden one morning, I open up the door and she's there with the babies and the male cat. And then one day, like 2 weeks later, I opened up the door and there's like 8 other cats on the lawn. And I was like, is there like a sign here that says like cat hotel? Like, what is this? And it was like the craziest experience. And we ended up finding homes for all of the animals and stuff like that. But it was like some of the cats were really beat up looking. And I was like, I've never seen you around here before. Like, who are you? But she was about to go into heat again. So that whole thing anyways transpired. But it's like I am a cat. Like I walk down the street and cats come right up to me, and I'm sure you're surprised. Like I'm sure you're surprised, but they like are super attracted to my energy. And I've got this like insect that just flew into the doorway here, and it's like part wasp, part something else. Anyways, I'm sure my cat will take care of it. I know, so yeah.
Yes, that's the best way to go about it. I'm so scared of flying insects in general, but I love that you mentioned that because I never thought a cat would come to me. Okay, I've
Mm,
had like so the part of India that I was born and brought up in,
yeah,
there are not a lot of cats at all.
yeah,
There's a lot of stray dogs, too many stray dogs, I would say, not a lot of cats.
yeah,
And then I was sort of invited to be a judge at a competition in some other part of India. I went there and there are cats everywhere, every
mm,
single place, stray cats. And I was like, this is heaven.
mm,
Why didn't I know that there are more cats in this part of India? And that's where like more and more cat related energy started flowing in. But when I moved to Australia here, I I'm sort of like a cat stalker.
yeah.
And people, like, if I ask my friends, okay, what do you think I would, if there was a crime that I committed and like I'm in like a police station and I call, you get a call, what do you think I would have done? And the first thing they say is kidnap your neighbor's cat. That is the crime you would be in for. And I was like, god. So this is the reputation I have. And I once met this cat, so I have some sort of like a special connection with torties. So the tortoise color shell cats.
Yeah,
And it's the one cat that we had come over in my house in India as well. And here in Australia, I was doing my walk. I took a random turn, and this cat is just sitting there. This
yeah.
cat is so lovely, and they're one of the most aggressive ones. They're
Mm,
one of the most aggressive cats, and she's so like all cuddly with me. And I don't
yeah.
know what is going on. I start crying every time a cat
Oh,
comes close to me and is all nice to me.
yeah,
So I love that you shared the story. Oh my god, yes, it's a cat hotel. I like the cat
yeah.
hotel vibe.
So funny. Oh my gosh, so good. Yeah, they're attracted to me a lot. Well, you can imagine I'm part of their family. Like I am,
Yes.
I have tiger like energy, so they're like, this chick will help us, because I will,
Absolutely. I used
for
to
sure.
feel very jealous of my partner because he is a kitty magnet, if I have
Yeah.
to say it that way, because he's so good with cats. And then we got to know that he looks like a cat. There are some people who will look like a feline to you. I got interviewed on a podcast recently, and I was talking about all feline energy, and the person got so excited. They called in their partner, and they were like, I have always told her she looks like a cat. She is, and I got the cat download on 12th December. Her birthday is on 12th December, and
Yeah.
they were so excited about it. And I'm like, I know what you mean, because every time I look at my partner, I'm like, you are a cat. There is
Yeah.
no denying it. It's like you were some cat in some past life, and every cat is so just happy to be around him. And I'm like, why not me? Why him? So
Yeah.
I totally get how they feel when they look at you.
I love it. So funny. You're like, I'm so jealous that the cats come. I'm like, I think I just believe them, like the softer we are in energetics too, all the animals feel safe. And if we create that safety for them,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that is so true because cats will always come to you if you have a very grounded energy because they don't like all of that jumpy energy, or if you are out or like how we say ungrounded, you're not grounded, you
yeah,
are anxious and everything. They don't like it. They will help you, but they don't like it too much. They like calm and like just stabilize, god damn it, sort of an energy. And if you are grounded, because I get too excited when a cat would come to me, my body is already all over the
yeah,
place. And that is why I sort of tend to at times get like the cats just run away from me.
yeah.
But since I've started fostering, I've learned, okay, this is how I'm. So it
Mm.
also helps you with the grounding processes.
Oh, for sure. It totally does. Absolutely. That's cool. Okay, get back to your pillars, or else we'll probably be here for a year.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we had healing and rebirth.
Yeah,
After healing and rebirth, there's not, they always overlap. There's no
of
step one,
course.
step two, step three sort of
Yeah,
situation here.
yeah.
Okay, intuitive wisdom. So intuitive wisdom is
Mm,
where comes the channeling, the tarot reading, the guides, and all of that stuff. That is another pillar because you would see how cats were always associated with the witches. So
yeah,
there's a reason for that. It's that intuitive wisdom that they hold. And one thing that I wanted to say, oh, about healing and rebirth is, uh, I I I've seen people be like the superstitions are getting less, I would say, about the
yeah,
black cats and everything. But people don't realize that, okay, if they have these witch wounds, they're like, I have a witch wound, I have to work on it. But they don't realize that with the witches, the cats were also burned.
Mm-hmm.
So you technically have a part, like a companion who was with you, and they're coming now to help you. And that's why witch wound people will benefit so much from the fierce feline energy,
Right.
because there was a cat counterpart you had who
Yeah.
also suffered the same thing that you
Yeah.
went through, and you are supposed to come together to heal. So that was a bit about the healing and rebirth, but there's the intuitive wisdom part. So I opened up to tarot, and I used tarot cards to give guidance, but then that slowly opened up to channeling, animal communication, akashic records this year, and all of that. So this is the pillar where I guide my clients through, okay, this is coming through me, this is what you're supposed to do. I'll give an example of it that just happened to me yesterday. I'm in the process of creating a new program.
Yeah.
It's designed to be just for coaches. Someone who wants to be a coach is already a coach and wants to be very spiritually led and intuitively led. And I made the slides just like I made it for my last course in Feb. So this was some other course, and I'm like, okay, I'll make the same process and everything. And I felt this feeling of these slides are not it, the background and everything, it's just not it, it's not how I see it. And then the guidance came through after all of this resistance. The guidance was, you're not supposed to have slides, just make some talking videos. That's how the lessons are supposed to be. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what you mean. Even today I had specific dates come up, that these are the dates. There are supposed to be 8 people. That also was something that channeled through, that there will be
Yeah.
8 people, 4 of them are already there. And then I was like, when will the rest 4 come in? That impatience energy. And
Yeah.
I literally got dates on the seats. So I have this like container, I see the house of the spirit of offer,
Yeah.
where the container is, and there are four seats laid out on each side. And the empty seats, they had numbers on it,
Mm.
that this is the dates they're gonna come in. And I'm like, wow, that's the first time it's happened to me. I love it. I am gonna like save that one. So intuitive wisdom is basically everywhere. You can take help of your guides, you don't have to do this alone. And that's where you also take help of the feline counterpart and their intuitive wisdom. Yeah, so that's the
Cool.
second pillar.
Love it. Well, and also I have a witch wound for sure. Like Tony, my cat here, has been in my life. Like I got her at 9 weeks old. She's 14 now. So she's been around, and her brother, who I got them both together, he passed away in 2019, but she'll be around for a long time. Like she's still got, as she says, when our energies come together, we are like stardust and we have work to do. That's what she said just recently in an animal communication message to me. So yeah. Yeah, she's in it. She's in it. But yeah, please continue. Okay, good. This is great. I
I
love it.
love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Thank you for sharing that. Yep. And then we have energy work. So for energy work, it's basically I associate this avatar. The avatar is a cat. Most of the time they spend is cleaning themselves, because they want to be like protecting their energy from anything else. No other sense, please, just me and my human. That's all I want here. And that is exactly what I help business owners with, because I had this business owner, and even though she had a team, she had all of these lovely people supporting her, she had this thriving business, she was tied down to it. She
Mm.
felt like, I have to be there, I have to review everything, everyone comes to me. And she was the main point of contact for everything, even though she had all of these people to help her out. That is where the energy works come in. So energy work is energy protection and conservation. How can I help you set SOPs and everything, whatever is needed in your business, to be able to reduce your workload, and you are doing the things that you are good at instead of the things that you have to do, sort of a situation. So we helped her get an OBM and delegate her responsibilities.
Yep.
And then she was like, oh, I don't really have to be there for everyone. And when she actually hired someone else who was supposed to take care of it, she saw her pattern of wanting to overstep and still do it herself, still be the
Mm.
person who is the point of contact. She didn't feel safe enough. So that safety was to be cultivated. And that's where the intuitive wisdom or the healing and rebirth pillar would come in. So these pillars will work as like a Venn diagram, that, okay, this is the pillar that's going to support this pillar. So energy work is all about that: hiring, delegating, setting boundaries. When are you going to take client calls? Like I set a very fierce boundary with that same client. I told her I plug into my Telegram. I use Telegram for voice coaching,
Yep.
and I'm going to use Telegram 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening for 5 days a week. That is what I'm going to do. And that made her so scared. She was like, "No, you didn't tell me this." Da, da, da. And she was very scared. And after she calmed down and she saw me giving her the best coaching she had received, she was like, "Wow, I feel like I am now not so averse to the idea of private coaching," because she didn't want to offer coaching at all, because
Right.
all the coaches she had worked with had
Mm,
unlimited access, unlimited calls, unlimited blah blah blah. And she thought, while as a client that is great, as a coach that's not going
how
to
she
be
was
the best
saying.
decision for her. When
Yeah.
she saw me set that energy work pillar in place, first it scared her, and then once she got her head wrapped around it, she was like, wow, this makes me think maybe I do want to do private coaching like this. So
Right.
that is the energy work pillar and an example of energy work. Yep.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Tony's a healer, and when I first got her, we had a deal that if she was doing energy work on my clients, like through the video or in person or whatever, that she would poop it or puke it. So like being able to release that through the body, but she's done some amazing things, and I never even considered about her doing like strategy and systems, like, and bringing in that energy that way. I'd be like, I wonder what she would create, So I love that pillar.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Because
that's
there's
wonderful.
like the cat's thing, because they have all of these strategies. They have, like, the best way I explain it is, the cats are lazy the entire time, but then they have their zoomy periods.
Yeah.
Exactly how you are supposed to operate in business, where you
Mm.
receive rest, clean energies of other people. Like, I'll do this podcast, great. Before that, I was sitting in a meditation, great. After this, I have a team meeting, great. But after that, I take time. So I'm in my zoomy period right now. Basically, I'm zooming around and I have all of this energy. But after that, I need to calm down. I need to rest. I need to receive. And that is the balance that I'm gonna have. So this is the energy work pillar. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, she's talking to us, so apparently she's got stuff to say. I love it. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
I love it. I love putting little like mics or pretending there's a mic in my hand and putting it in front of cats. I did
Yeah.
it with the cat I found on the street one day and I was like, "Do you approve that my LSU, because my business name is Listening Stories Untold. So is LSU a good investment for people?" And then the cat meows and I'm like, "It is cat approved. You cannot like no arguments here
Yeah.
entertained." Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so funny. Okay, cool. Okay, what do we got for pillar four?
Okay, for pillar four, we have quantum jumps. This has
Mm,
everything to do with manifestation, but it also has to do with how cats can jump 6 times their height, right? And
yeah.
usually their jumping ability is pretty good, and they're also able to land on their feet every time as well. So that ability to resilience and jump and everything. So you have to take steps back. If you see some feline hunt, they take a couple of steps back and they run and they're jumping into it. So it's, you can think of a leopard, you can think of a cheetah here. All of that is the quantum jump thing. So this is where we work on helping you manifest. I had a client who was who needed money, I'll say it like that. She
Yeah.
needed money and she had a couple of things at home she had to take care, and I was like, okay, how about we make a plan? And I was just having fun with her. I'm like, oh, this would get you 100K in like a day. Isn't that fun? So that's like in Indian currency. She would have gotten it if she signed these clients. And I said it for fun. The same day she texted me, Ashu, we closed all of those clients and
Mm,
I did touch 100K. And I'm like, what? What did you do this? We were just talking about it. So that
yeah.
is the quantum jump ability. I literally have, so the program I was talking about that I'm going to do,
Yeah.
I have to record content for it. It's going to start next year on 1st Jan. I have clients signing up for it, and one of the clients has already hit her highest income month she has ever had in her business because she said yes, and now she is in
In
alignment with
it.
receiving those codes.
Yeah.
So that's the quantum jump that happens when you work with the feline energy or work in my container. So that's how it works. Yep.
Love that. Oh my gosh,
So
cool.
those are the four. Those were the four. And the last one is like the biggest one, because when even in my, I'm looking at it right now on the side, and I have these circles going, and then there is a cat, and the cat is sitting on one of the circles, and that is the biggest circle.
Yeah.
And that is the pillar that I have not talked about till now. Is the one is the fierce expression of self.
Oh, okay, yeah.
owning your
Cool.
fierce voice
Yeah.
and wildest thoughts. Because cats are vocal. They don't care if you're sleeping. It's 4 a.m. They need something. They will be vocal about it. They
Yeah.
will tell you. They will not suppress themselves. And they have all of these cool voices. They can talk to so many like voices, and they have different voices for humans. They have different voices for cats. They have different, they don't meow at cats. And then the bird chirping to get the birds and the
Yeah.
insects and everything. So all of that voices is the beautiful beauty of the fierce feline expression, because I tell my clients you don't have to be a coach all the time. You don't have to
Right.
be like so cats will only meow to humans, but
Yeah.
they won't meow to other cats. That's how I explain that you will coach your clients, but you don't have to go around coaching every single family members of yours. You just get to sit with them, enjoy. You get
Yeah.
to change your tone, you get to change your language, and you would still be yourself. You won't be some totally different
Yeah.
person. You're not pretending to be someone else. That's not how it works. So that's the fierce feline expression, which is related to the throat chakra, if I would say, like
Mm.
specifically heavily related to the throat and the solar plexus. And that is one of my main missions here as well, because a lot of women that I work with people of color, and they have been suppressed for such a long time. Their
Mm.
voices just do not come out. Like I speak so fiercely, and I see people being so shy about their products, and when they tell me about their products and I say the same thing to them, I sell their product to them, and I'm like, wow, you have candles? Think of this, think of that. And they're like, wow, I love how you talk about my product. I'm like, yes, because your voice is so dimmed down. We need to get it out. I literally want to thump on their chest and be like, get out your voice,
Yeah.
make it loud, make it proud, be happy about it, and speak about it. Because I work specifically with women,
Mhm.
because they have, especially in my culture where I grew up in, you are not allowed to speak. You have to be a good girl. You have to
Oh, yeah, I can
shut down.
imagine.
You
Yeah.
have to listen. It's like a patriarchy sort of a situation. So you have to let the men make the decision. You are not capable of making decisions. What you have to say is not valuable enough. All of that programming, working
Mhm.
on it, comes under fear, self expression of self.
Right. It makes so much sense because even if we look holistically at what's transpiring in the world, we're moving through all these pillars. Like literally, we are. We're quantum leaping. We're owning our truth and power in the world as we move through and being able to express ourselves full heartedly in that space. We're literally doing massive amounts of uprooting when it comes to like healing energies and the stuff that we're dealing with inside of all of this. So it's like all the pillars that you've mentioned are weaved into the work, and you've just found the portal way that you're meant to serve within, which I think is a key dynamic for all of you listening, is that I could be doing the same work as you. I train in the Akashic Records, I do channeling, like all the stuff, but I don't use feline energy per se like you do in that targeted way. And you found a way to tap into that to really be in alignment with what your soul's here to do. Plus, release yourself from karmic debt. Plus, like check mark some of those things you did in past lives to be like, dude, we're clear, we're good in the space of it all, and to move that forward. So I love that, and I love the clarity in which you bring to it. So it's great.
I love that you mentioned it, because that's one of the things that's like super important to me, is that I need to help my clients see whatever you are doing, even if other people are doing it, they will not do it like you. I
Mm-hmm.
have a client, and she associates with turtles. Her brand is called Happy Turtling. And I'm like, wow. I looked at her, she was not my client at that point, but I just looked at her and I was like, I love this. I automatically feel the sigh of relief. That, wow, I want to be a turtle. And that made her realize the depth of what she chose the name.
Right.
Like I chose Listening Stories Untold, just
Yeah.
like that. And now that I work more and more, I realize, oh, I am listening to the stories that people are telling themselves, but they're not realizing, or they're not even telling, and it's surface level. And I didn't realize that was the depth and the beauty of that name.
Mm.
And a lot of people think that, oh, I just had a discovery call yesterday, and the person was like, there's so many people doing it, why would someone want to? And I'm like, okay, let's get into the coaching mode. Here is why other people would come to you, because you are unique, you need to be there. An example I give is, imagine that you have all of these gifts. It's like you are a lamp post on a shady street. Everyone can think of a shady street right now. A lamp post there. You have electricity, but you choose not to turn on the lamp.
Yeah.
So no one walks on that street. That is you with your spiritual gifts not being put out.
Right.
That's exactly how it is. The moment you turn on the lamp, it's not like you would get clients. It's not that like guaranteed, but one thing is guaranteed, that on that shady street that is now not so shady anymore, it has light, people are more likely to walk through it instead of totally avoid it.
Right.
And that is what happens when you choose to share your spiritual gifts. People will be more likely to come to you. If you are already like, people are not coming to me now, why will they come to me later? Well, honey, they will, because you are going to light up and you're going to show that I'm here to help people.
Yeah. I love this. Um, yeah, and it's so true. I use the term all the time that we're beacons of light, or like you need to get into your light mobile and start to like share more light into the world. And I use that almost facetiously, but in a way of like people actually understanding and seeing the fact that every single one of us is being called to turn it on right now and to step up and to do the work and to heal what we need to heal and to express how we need to express, because each puzzle piece is imperative in the movement of the world right now. And no matter where you land and what business you have or what job you have or how you show up in the world, it doesn't matter that degree. It matters that you're fully illuminated in the spaces of what you're moving through. So yeah, so cool. Love this conversation.
Abs- yes, the fierce feline expression, basically. You express your gifts out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Get it out into the world. So I'd love for you, because I feel like there's a lot in what we just discussed. If someone actually dissected this, like this was a powerful conversation already. But I'd love to just find out, like, what are the felines saying about this next movement that we're moving through? This podcast will be published in most likely February, maybe March of 2025. So if you were to tap in to the futuristic version of us moving through 2025's year, like what are the felines saying about it? Like what are you hearing in the collective energy from them, just to serve humanity with, for those listening?
I'm hearing more roars.
Mm,
Yeah, sorry. I'm hearing more roaring sounds, and like the vision that's coming to me is like of a lion with the mouth open, right? So like a lion is in the teeth, the claws coming out,
yeah,
the fierceness. And I'm seeing more and more people are going to definitely open up their goddamn mouths,
yeah.
talk about it. You've been hush hush about it. You are listening to this and you have something, you have a drawer with your tarot cards or your crystals or whatever your gifts, whether it's a physical drawer or like a spiritual drawer of gifts, and it's shut, and you're going to be opening it up and you're going to put it laid out in the open instead of just having it there in a drawer for no one to see, and
Mm,
then being open about it out in the public sort of a situation. Yeah,
I love this.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I just was reminded this past year I taught a program called Fierce. And literally I did a warrior shoot in the jungle here. So I have like paint on my face and stuff. And the graphics that channeled in for that program was me coming out of the mouth of a tiger. So I just could put all that together when you just said that. And I'm like, and it's not going to shock you or surprise you that I've been channeling bold, fierce energy for years now, and that I taught a program like that because there's a reason why I was inclined to be like, what the heck is this feline energy? Because it makes sense for who I am as a person in the collective. But I love the fact that you brought like roar into play. Like, and it's just like I could feel that for humanity. It's time for the voices to be unleashed. Yeah.
Absolutely. More like the spiritual people who are sort of dimming themselves. They
Mm-hmm.
are now suddenly like, oh, I'm seeing like a globe. If I could just visualize, I'm seeing a globe, and then like roar, roar, roar. A lot of people roaring, a lot of people rising up, sort of a thing that I'm seeing right now. And that is exactly what, like, being fierce. You're doing it through your program, being fierce, helping women or people be fierce. And that's what I want to do through the feline energy that you are going to talk about it. You're not going to keep your gifts to yourself. No, no, no. No disservice to the people who are meant to come to you, who have spiritual contracts with you. Allow them
Yeah.
to come to you and fulfill those contracts.
Yes, so good. And yeah, like we're in the same vibe because I speak about that all the time. I'm like, guys, before you dropped into this body, you made contractual agreements with people that you were going to step up and be that person for them. So it's like, it's time. Like, we're really in that space of like, it's time. And if you're listening to this, I'm just going to say it one more time. It's time. Whatever that means for you, it's time. So yeah, this has been amazing. Ashu, it's been so great like chatting with you. I obviously in the show notes we're going to have your links, but what do you have going on? We have a new program that will be live, obviously playing out by the time the podcast launches. But where's your playground? Where can people find you? Give me all the spiel in connection with that.
So I live on Instagram. I live, breathe, and see things in Instagram. I literally, this is the best way you can ever talk to me is Instagram. I would delay replying on emails. But if you text me on Instagram, I am there. You're getting voice notes from me. Because when I work with my clients as well, the moment they tell me something, I already see it. Okay, this is a reel, this is the title. That's one of my gifts, is just to be able to tell people this is how the content piece is going to come through, which is
Mm.
one of the main dilemmas of people to begin with. But yes, Instagram is going to be your best place, best bet to be. So that's there. I'm also the host of the podcast Your Spiritual Business Coach, and that is where you will
Mm.
find everything. And this right now I'm running by the time the podcast goes up, this season will be done and we'll be on season 4. But at the time of recording this, there is season 3 going on, which is all about feline energy. And I
Yeah.
know there are people who want to dig more of it. So this dedicated episodes, the pillars explained, then I have clients coming on to explain how their experience was with a specific pillar, and then I have guests on the same pillars. So
Oh,
that's going to
cool.
be a lovely place to learn about feline energy. And of course, if you come on my Instagram, you will see the link will lead you to all of these beautiful spaces, which has the 3-day feline training that I was talking about, the podcast. I have some lovely meditations on YouTube. And of course, if you want to work with me in private coaching containers, that's the way to go. Yeah.
Yay, cool. So I'll have obviously your Instagram link in the show notes. People can go click on that and find you over there. But this has been amazing. I want to just close off with like any last thoughts that are coming through that you just want to make sure people feel, know, understand, whatever is that energy today.
I am seeing a butterfly. I am seeing a butterfly flying. I think it's time for you to step out of that cocoon. It's time, like you said, it's time. Whatever it is for you, it's time. But that cocoon is definitely, you have been in it for way too long. Your wings have developed. You just need to flap them a little.
Get them out. I've pretty much mastered the ability to get a butterfly and a dragonfly to come onto my finger for me to help them out of my house. And people are just like what? And I'm like, I literally drop into a safe place energetically and I get them to come onto my finger and I lead them, literally I walk them to the door and I lead them out the door from my finger. I do this all the time. Because if they stay in here, they die because they're trying to get out and they work themselves into that. Or my dogs will try to eat them. I also have 2 dogs and they're like a year old. But I love the analogy of the butterfly. And I find that the more we connect into self, like obviously this is expression about letting go, but the more we connect into self, the more we actually expand our wings, whatever that means for each of us. So I love that. So grateful.
I am so grateful that you invited me to the podcast and share my gift of the feline energy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what am I going to call the title? Well, I'm going to call it Roar. I know, like, I'm going to call it that. Owning your fierce feline energy. That's what I'm going to call it. I better write that down. Like, because it's like,
Yes,
yeah,
I
this
love it.
this has been an experience, and actually, it's been like a pleasure. Literally, I just loved hanging out and connecting. No idea what was about to transpire, but all of this was amazing and aligned. So like seriously grateful for you and you owning your gift in the world.
Thank you so much.
Yay, you're so welcome. And everyone, like I always say, listen to the podcast, tag us out on social media, get the word out into the streets, I call it, and share it with a friend. If you have people in your world that love cats, this is the episode to send to them because it may blow their top off in the space of everything. But I love all you guys. And again, Ashley, thank you so much. And we'll see you guys all in the next episode.